Hey gang, hope you're joining me right after a nice intense workout. I am a hot sweaty mess and I hope you are too. If this isn't when you've decided to do a rollout but you're doing it on end of a day, you just need to take care of some glitches, some stiffness that's happening in your muscles, that's okay too. All right, so nice deep breath in, let it out. I hope you're drinking lots of water as we do this. So we're going to do myofascial release. This is the skin casing, the collagen casing around our muscles is called fascia, and it runs through our whole bodies. And it tends to be fuzz up a little bit, and that's where we get these achy points of tension. Sometimes the tension's in our muscle, sometimes it's in the fascia. But if we open this up, we get a much more fluid range of motion, keeps us injury free, helps to recover any injuries we might have. Now, that being said, before we get started, please do not roll on top of a bruise, a varicose vein, a sprain, anything that's actually injured and you know it's injured. Please let your muscle tissues recover, fascia recover. It's just going to pull all the fluid, that's what the bruise is, to that point, and you're going to let your body heal itself, okay? Or of course, go for medical help if you need it. Don't ignore anything like that. But I'm saying that to let you know that I don't want you to roll on top of a sprain. In fact, we're not going to roll on top of any joints, including our spine, all right? The only exception for the spine is we will take the soft roller and roll out our backs. Before you panic and go spend a fortune on fascia release, there's two pieces of equipment that you need. It's a lacrosse ball, $2. You can splurge, take care of yourself for $2. It'll save you hundreds of dollars in physiotherapy, so a lacrosse ball. If you're feeling really spendy, you can buy 3 lacrosse balls. They come in cases of 3. Duct tape 2 together so you have what's called a peanut and a single one. Now, this is what I do for a living, so I have all the bells and whistles, and I know some of you invested in that too. So you can get tuna balls. It's a hard packed rubber. These are 2 tennis ball size in a bag. Cheap option, tennis balls in a sock rolled up. And these are my big purple ones. I have a couple of added things that I've got for my injuries through the year. This is from Nike, and it's hard plastic with ridges in it. Super nasty, great for injury prevention and recovery, but it runs around $50, right? $3 for a lacrosse ball, $50 for a fascia ball. You make your choices. The other one I got, this one's from Costco. It's a hard plastic, knobbly one, fairly nasty. And what I would recommend everybody pick up is the foam roller. So this is a piece of equipment. You can get it from Winners. I know you can get it from Superstore, Canadian Tire. Okay, sort of dense, but all styrofoam. So this one and this one is the minimum you need, and then you go for it. Whatever you feel is going to help you and your body recover is an option. But I have just done a spin. So I gotta loosen up those glutes. I'm going for a long drive today, and trust me, tight glutes and a long drive is a nasty combination. So all I'm gonna do, sitting on the ball, I'm just gonna roll those glutes to start. And I'm not getting too aggressive, I'm just doing a warm-up roll. So just gentle back and forth. And I'm rolling a little bit onto my hip, but not all the way over. I've got other things I like to do for my hips. So, and here's the exception for rolling the spine. With a roller, soft roller, you can get down into that lower back area. Otherwise, nothing touches the spine. If you have a spinal injury, you do not even do this. So listen to your body, especially for those of you with lower back injuries. You know how nasty it is to trigger that, so we don't want to do that. So, whew. Hope that's feeling awesome. So make it a little bit more intense, and we are rolling tight muscles out, trying to prevent injury. I'm just going to roll it over. You can see I'm spending a lot of time on my wrists. That may not be for you. Take it down to the elbow. Okay, for me right now, it's feeling just fine. Helping me get a lot of body weight. So I'm keeping that right leg, right knee is bent. I'm just going to roll over to the left side. And be next to a wall, not something breakable, but just something if you start to lose your balance, you can go over on it. Whew. Awesome. So from here, just going to take it down onto those hamstrings. Hamstrings are particularly hard to roll, so I'm going to show you some options for that. But the first thing you need to do is play with your feet. So this is called windshield wiper when you're going horizontally. Nice. Down to the calves. A lot of us have tight calves and have no idea that they're tight until we start doing this. So again, side to side motion with those feet. Want to make it a little bit more intense. One on top of the other. Change it up. All right. How are we doing so far? Whew. So that's just a nice little warm up. And just like we warm up our muscles before we exercise, we warm up our fascia before we roll it out. So we always start soft and then we follow our body's lead and listen to it as it gets more intense. Now I'm going to stand up so you can't see my face, but that's okay because you're actually going to be looking at my feet. And I'm going to start with one ball. I'm going to use a lacrosse ball because that's what I recommended. Some of the balls, if you're feeling like if you have plantar fasciitis, you probably want to start with a tennis ball because there's not a lot of give in lacrosse balls. So if you're really tight, you want something a little softer, tennis ball or splurge and get yourself a tune-up ball. You can order them online. Almost all the stores, sports stores, fitness stores are carrying fascia release stuff now. So you can just ask them about that. And you want to sound in the know, ask for a myofascia release ball, but they'll probably know what it's called if you call it a rollout ball, tune-up ball. So as you can see, I'm just kind of getting in there, feeling what's going on. Heel down, resting my weight as much as appropriate for me on the ball of the foot, and I'm going side to side. Little windshield wiper right there. Whew. 3 times. Nothing's feeling too tight. I'm going to be gentle across my arches, the inside arch, which we all know about. We actually should have a little arch right here too on the outside. So just a little horizontal movement here. Feeling good. Nothing too tight. I'm going to take it to the ball of my foot, and I'm going to actually really squish it down side to side. Just really pushing down on that base. Just making sure nothing's tightening up in my heel because that can cause all sorts of problems. Oh, does that ever feel good? If you stand here, you're going to feel that maybe like one foot's a little flatter, able to sink down a little bit more. And if you reach down, you're going to find you can actually touch down more on one side than the other. And that is my foot that I released is giving my whole body a little bit more range of motion. Whew, we don't want to stay out of balance though. So let's see what the other side's doing. And because our hips can be so different side to side, we've got to have different movements all the way up and down our bodies. So if you have a hip injury, a lower back injury, a shoulder injury that you've had forever, even though it doesn't hurt, it may affect how the rest of your body moves on that side. So it's always an interesting thing to find out is where's your body holding tension? Where is it compensating? A lot of the times where you feel the pain, that's not actually what's hurt. It's somewhere else, but your body's doing some referral of pain and compensation movement and all these tricky ideas, which is why we have kinesiologists and physiotherapists and osteopaths and all sorts of exciting professionals who will help you through. It is really nice under these circumstances though to maybe not have to do so many appointments and to be able to take care of yourself and prevent injuries before they become injuries. That is the goal. And let's breathe. I hope you're breathing while I chatter on. I tend to talk a lot during fascia release, and it's just simply to distract from the pain and any discomfort people may be feeling. So that's the why behind that. So I'm going to go through the lower body, getting into those hips. I'm going to do it kind of fast. Don't rush, all right? Hit pause, stay in your points. Not too long. There's no prizes for enduring pain. So, go at your own pace, but I just want to make sure I get through everything, and I've only got 10 minutes to do it. So I'm going to move along here. So ball, Achilles tendon, right? It starts in the back of the foot. It goes all the way up into the calf. I'm just going to follow it along, little circles, adding the weight of my other foot if I need to. Oh, does that ever feel like I need to? Right there. All right. And again, watch how much time you're spending on those wrists. You can do this from a seated position. And just inch by inch, bring it up. Rolling it up all the way. So I'm going to let it rest for a second right in the meaty part of my calf so that my muscle can drape itself around. We're going to go side to side. Just looking for any points of tension, muscle knots. You find a knot, you're going to know you found it. Just give it a little circle with a ball. Just a little circle. Move on. So before I move to my next leg, I'm going to take this ball, I'm going to tuck it into the cup behind my knees. It's got that little really nice and handy space. I'm going to squish it in, and what the ball is doing is actually releasing the top of my calf muscle. All right. Use your own judgment. If you have bad knees, this may not be a move for you. And then the way I'm going to dig that ball into my calf muscles, I'm actually going to move my foot, flexing that muscle and letting that ball do its magic. Gorgeous. All right, moving on to the other side. Same thing. So you can see I'm automatically going back onto those wrists. Lean it forward if you can. Circle it up. Don't be shy to hit pause. You don't have to keep pace with me. I'm going a little fast. And fast is not better with fascia release. It's just better for me today because it's going to give you guys a little bit more information. Whew. As you're starting to cool down, those muscles are going to get stiff. So don't be afraid to throw a sweater on top too. It's okay. Here we go. All right. So this is when I move to the bigger ball. Another option is a softball, but that might be kind of nasty. So the reason I'm using a big ball is because I happen to have really big hamstrings. So that's a lifetime of sports, which is great because it's kept me injury free. And I'm just working it around, looking for that spot. Sort of where your bum cheek curves into the top of your thigh. That is a fantastic place to land the ball and do a little windshield wiper. All your abductors and adductors are kind of tucked away, connecting in there. So you're going to feel some stuff there. Let's just release it out. Beautiful. Taking it to the other side. Now, if all you have is a small ball, this is a good time to elevate it. So what you would do is put your small ball on top of a yoga block or just, some old books that you've got lying around and bring that ball up a little higher. Whew. Hang on, breathing through my own pain right now. Here we go, and a little side to side. So let me give you a demo of that. In order to dig into those muscles, another way to do that is ball on yoga block, and then that's going to give you a good, you can see how it's just sinking right into that muscle back there, and that's another way of digging in a little bit. All right, so remember, we don't roll what's hurt. If you start to get, especially when we're in our glutes, a sharp shooting pain, means you've hit a nerve. Stop instantly, okay? We've got that giant sciatic nerve running through our glutes between them, so we don't want to pinch it because, wow, that's just nasty. So that's just a warning. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it does mean you need to be a little bit mindful. I'm going to do the big ball for this just because I need the release, but please downsize accordingly. Whatever's right for you. All right. So I am going to use my hands, my legs. As you can see, I'm straightening the leg that I'm doing the glutes. So I'm rolling out my bum cheek, my glute muscles, and I'm manipulating myself. When I have both up, kind of holds my muscles in a certain position. So I like to move around that the right leg, and then it allows me, because there's layers of glutes, it allows me to kind of get into different areas. And for me, the glute med is the one that really likes to tighten up. So that's on the upper corner of my bum cheek. Tends to be a tender spot for most people. There we go, beautiful. So I'm just getting right up in there. All right, let's take it to the other side. Oh, we are doing awesome. Into the other glute. Yeah, so please do not feel like you need to go and spend a fortune on all these balls. I just happen to have them because I've been doing this for a few years with a whole bunch of different people and a whole bunch of different injuries. I find this black one that I'm using right now really effective for big muscle reoccurring injuries. So I use it for myself, and my son uses it for his back muscles. He's got a big back. So I'm going to downgrade from this though, because it is pretty intense. And I'm going to go to what most of you have. Now, remember, if anything gets too much for you with the body weight on it, perhaps you can't manipulate your body, use the wall, okay? You can push that ball into the wall, and that's going to give you some muscle release too. So I'm going to show it on the floor. I've got them two together, and I can do it with one leg or two legs. If I wanted to do this move up against the wall, I'd actually take it, place it against the muscles, and then pushing into it side to side. Not a great demonstration, but I hope you catch what I'm trying to say there. So move it to our side. Knees are bent. I'm using the weight of my other leg. And what I'm trying to do is go sideways on my T all the way along here. Usually we roll it lengthways, uncomfortable. It doesn't really do anything. It's just uncomfortable, which is a nasty combination. If it's going to hurt, I'm going to need it to do something for me. So, and as I get closer to my hip, it gets uncomfortable for me. So I'm going to push off my elbow, push off my foot, so I can control the amount of body weight I'm putting on there. Oh, and this is not as bad as I thought it would be. So I can keep talking and hopefully distracting you from your own discomfort. Now, if this is just, there's no way you can do it. Take it up to the wall. And remember, it's a side-to-side motion as the balls travel horizontally along. Isn't that intense? Let's see what it feels like on the other side. Oh yeah, one side's always a little bit more tight than the other. Manage your body weight on that intensity. So you've got to lift it up so it's not so hard. Bring it down if you're really looking to work out that spot. Go light, and then let your body tell you it's okay to go heavy. Got a little Charlie horse spot going on right there. Again, hit pause, stay with what you need to stay with. Grab a sip of water. We're going to do the inside of our thighs, an area that we don't normally think to stretch. It's a little tricky to stretch. Frog stretches do it. But this is when it's always so nice to be in the comfort of your home, because this looks a little ridiculous. I'm going to be down, I'm lying on my stomach, then I'm taking my leg, hooking my knee over, and I'm really rolling just to about mid-thigh and back down. I'm not getting too close to my groin area, and the reason for that is it's going to hurt, yes, but it's hurting because it's lymph nodes, and nobody wants you rolling out lymph nodes. It's not great for your body. It's a lot of pain and suffering, and it doesn't actually do what we're trying to do. So just because it hurts doesn't mean it's a good idea. So as you can see, I'm not actually doing my knee. My knee itself is not getting rolled. It's just along the thigh, towards the groin, and back again. Oh, beautiful. I hope nobody was having any surprises there. But if you find that it's really tight on the inside of the knee, that's a potential knee injury, and we want to head that off. All right, I can see we're at our 20-minute mark. So everybody, go. I'm going to do the next leg, and that'll be it for today. So please remember, after your high-intensity workouts, a rollout is a fantastic idea. If perhaps you're starting to feel like there might be some injury sneaking up on you, a rollout's a good idea. And I'm sure you can hear this from what I'm saying, but pretty much a rollout's a good idea. So I hope you take advantage of it. Let me know if you have any questions or challenges, and I'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.